across the pavement, hoping it'll cave and swallow me whole. Wonder why my mind keeps on spinning. This is how I live into me, what so.
Back to normal,
How you doing?
I'm doing good. Navigating, coming out of the pandemic year like everybody else, slowly getting into the world, going back to normal, husband, kids, church, radio, music, juggling the same things.
Are we going to be back to normal? Have you guys been vaccinated? Like they said today, we can travel more freely now, even though we have to be masked up.
Yeah, I don't trust the vaccination. I don't. Hurry up, get on Black people first. Some don't sit well with me. And I know, I'm sorry. I know it's a bunch of people just very pro-vaccination. I
want you to know that I gladly got both. I waited online. One of the things that upset me, Karen and I talked about it, was there were so many people that I saw in so many different neighborhoods that either did computer privilege, white privileged. I live in better zip code privileged, and we're traveling to all kinds of neighborhoods that they wouldn't be caught dead in otherwise, but they showed up to get a vaccine. I've gotten both of my vaccines. My wife just got both of her, just got her second shot. My daughter-in-law works in a medical center, and so she got one a long time ago because of the environment she was in. And little by little, people that we know and love are getting vaccinated. I've got to tell you, other than a minor reaction, mostly if you have the second one or if you do the J&J one, and the reaction is probably just your body saying that they're fighting the virus. And, so far, no messages from Bill Gates have come through to me the way, some people on the right wing are saying. And I understand the past, but it's almost like in my mind, this vaccine makes up for past sins, and it's so important for everybody to get. It really is. It's science, and again, I know in the past there've been real issues, and there's hesitancy, and there's cautiousness, but. I'll at least tell you that I got them. I'm happy to get them. If they say you need to get a booster, I'll get a booster.
Okay.
Yeah, it's still a no for me. Sorry.
Okay. So
it's all right.
Okay. Listen,
and I'm out.
And because of that, she's out. So what if you can't travel? What if you can't travel without the vaccine? Because I know 2 years ago, I had to go to Africa. They said you can't come into this country without yellow fever, without the malaria, without the card to say that you had your yellow fever and malaria. And I was like, I want to go to Africa.
But this COVID, there's not been enough time to evaluate. And the part about this that I don't understand is I don't hear anybody saying, build your immune system, wear gloves, wear a mask, sanitize your hands, get this vaccine. Why can't we just build a strong enough immune system to combat it? So I've been around people who had it. My husband had it. I took care of him. I didn't get it. My mother-in-law had it. I went to her house, made soup for her, was around her, didn't get it. And I'm not that I'm this, special case. I just believe in building a strong immune system. And that's just where I stand. I haven't heard enough. Everybody's like, oh, there's no side effects. I mean, that's not a good enough reason to me. You know what I mean? So
there's side effects.
I mean, some people need it, and some, I'm not telling anybody.
So if they tell you, because you travel right. As part of your job. If they say you cannot get on an airplane unless you're vaccinated, or you get in
my own plane.
Oh, you better do that. That's
there you go.
That's what I was like. Where we get one of them?
So Erica makes a point about building up your immune system, and vitamin D is proven and has been proven. What I think is one of the missing parts of public health communication. There's been a lot. I think that when we look back in time, we realize there's a lot of things that we could have said and communicated to people better and differently. And hopefully the next time this stuff happens, we will. But vitamin D deficiencies in a lot of people is something that has made their immune system lower. And simply by taking, 2,000, 3,000 IUs, I don't know, Erica, what you think is the right amount.
Let's not give out prescriptions.
The views expressed by the show's producers and its guests are
to get
not
me
necessarily
today.
those of Karen Hunter or Sirius XM.
I'm good getting myself cancer.
I don't think I don't
Oh
think
my
you're going to
gosh.
get canceled. I think there's plenty of evidence that in the scientific literature that says that if you have vitamin D in you, you're going to be. But you know what? There's the internet. You can't always
No.
believe everything you see and hear on the internet, but vitamin
Right.
D
This
is a
is
good
true.
one.
This is true.
Thank you.
The medical industry doesn't want us to have something that we can get from the grocery store. Come on. They make more money when we're sick. They don't. America doesn't make money when we're well. They make money off of sick people. So if you're sick, they're going to tell you to take this medicine. They're not going to say change your diet. They're not going to say get rid of sugar. We make too much money off of sugar. They're not going to say that some beef and some meat can be toxic. We make too much money off that industry. They're not going to do it. Look, they sued Oprah just because she said she was vegetarian a bunch of years ago. Like, we know how this country works. So it's like the stuff that we see, yay, we want to take care of the people. Then there's the underbelly, and you're somewhere in the middle, and you got to make your own choice with what you believe, right? We know that is the truth. We know who they want to take care of and who they don't want to take care of. We're looking at this case when they're trying to prove that this man had to have his knee on George Floyd's neck for 9 minutes and 26 seconds or however long it was, that he was just doing his job. Sorry, that's not what you called me on here. Right?
No. Actually, so let me just say this. No, I'm giving you a hug right now, because that energy that you came in is the exact same energy that I had for last week. I'm trying to shake it, but clearly we need to sit in this space for a minute. Minus the vaccine, because I separate with you on that, because there is a scientific, in the fact that white people are coming into black neighborhoods to get it. I'm like, this ain't Tuskegee. That said, you're not wrong about us building up our immune system. And I've had many doctors on who say that they get maybe 1 week of nutrition in a four-year education, when medicine, food and medicine and disease and food totally correlated. Why isn't half your education
what we
in
eat
this space? Yeah. Right. So I agree with you. I'm just not going to ever on these airways tell people not to get vaccinated, because I think that would be, to me, irresponsible in this space.
Yes, I'm not telling anybody not to do it. Just as for me in my house.
For you.
Listen, my husband wants to get the vaccine.
And so what? Because he had COVID, and so how did it impact him? Because I remember him coming out and saying that.
It was rough. It was very, very rough. Many nights he literally couldn't breathe, gasping for treatments, just all the medicines, and you know what I mean? Just all the natural, it's a combination of homeopathic medicine and natural things just to make sure that he got better. He got better in 3 weeks and is pretty much back to normal now. But it was scary. It was very scary. Tina had it too. And Tina said, I was preparing myself like, okay, I may not make it out of this. She said, that's really what I thought. But I come from a family who abused medicine from the doctor, who kept trying stuff. Here, okay, let's try this. Let's try this. Let's try this. And my father got sicker and sicker from them trying, so I don't have a good backstory or history with it. But then you have my mom, who didn't take medicine, has always been in the homeopathic way, and is 70 and still living her good life, looks amazing, has never been in the hospital, no issues, just from taking good care of her body. So
you can easily bend the limbs, but when that tree gets deep rooted and grows, if you try to bend the limb, it'll break. And so you're looking at these baby boomers, and the coding and program is so embedded in them for so many years that it's they've become rooted trees. They've grown and they've got stiff bark, and you can't really bend those limbs. They'll just snap. And a lot of them aren't ready for that information. So you have to just, I tell people who always ask me, how do I get my family members to wake up, and how do I I said, you just be the light. You just do what you do. Don't put pressure on them. Every now and then you may drop a gentle seed, and that's about it. And just let them look at your life and how you're moving. Eventually, they may start to ask some questions.
Right.
And then you can answer the question and walk away. Don't go too deep again. Just a little bit at baby steps, a little bit at a time. Some of them will come along, some of them may not. Just be happy that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing and you're finding yourself. And then others will also see how you're moving and how you're living through this matrix. And then they will then begin to ask you questions. And some people will jump right on in with you full blown. Some people will take time. It's a gradual process, but like you said, you can't overdo it.
Everybody's in their own game.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know,
Lead
that's
by
right.
example. Just lead by example. If it's not for you, it's not for you. If it's,
Right.
like-
and you know them by their fruit.
Yes.
Yes.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like, did we miss that message? Like, you know people by their fruit, meaning their actions show you who they are.
Exactly.
So that whole I'm woke because you. So here it is. Let's go back. I was about to go full into that, which is, okay, you got the information, you got all his knowledge. Neo, when he went, he got into the chair, got the thing plugged into him, and he was sitting there for hours just downloading information, right?
Yeah.
And he said, and he told Morpheus, I know Kung Fu. Morpheus said what? Show me.
Right.
Right.
Oh,
Right.
you know, show me.
Exactly.
Right. It's the action that proves it.
So
right.
he went in that simulation again to show him he knew Kung Fu. And what did Morpheus do? He whipped his ass.
Yep.
Beat him
Yep.
down.
He beat him down. He's training him the whole way. Yeah, you learn some information,
Until
but you can't
that
apply
information-
it.
Until you apply that
Yeah.
information, it's not real. It's not in this
Exactly.
realm. It doesn't exist. It just exists in your mind
Yes.
until you apply it.
Absolutely. That happens to me all the time. People come